Welcome there. Today we are at Drukwerkdeal, a successful company in the printing business. And we are going to talk to Koen Raumen, who is the development manager here. And we'll talk about how he applied Agile in realizing a new version of his customer service. So, first of all, Koen, thanks a lot for having us here. And maybe first you can say a little bit about the company Drukwerkdeal.
Drukwerkdeal is an upload and print company. We were founded in 2005. We have two buildings here in the Netherlands and one in Belgium. And we sell printed products all over the Netherlands and mostly in the Flemish region of Belgium. From posters to business cards, from pens to mugs, from textile products to large banners, all kinds of printed products.
Everything that can be printed, you print it, basically.
We do it, yeah.
Yes. Now we learned that you have transformed your customer service and you used Agile principles to change the customer service 2.0. Can you say a little bit how that works and what is Agile about your customer service now?
Yeah. What we had was a very traditional customer service in which we had several departments, order management, sales, pre-press, after sales, all kind of different departments working with that same customer. And when a customer called, he had to be transferred to the right agent to answer his questions. We thought that this could be improved by using an agile method of working. We wanted to make self-sufficient teams that help the customer with all of the questions that a customer had. So we divided all of customer service into 6 different teams in which all of these specialties that I just mentioned had a place. And when a customer calls, he's automatically routed to his circle. So each customer is being designated to one circle once he places his first order. And after he's done that, he will be routed to this correct circle every time that he calls or emails or chats or whatever. And what we see is that in this way of working, the customer gets answered better every first time that he calls without having to being redirected to another agent or without having to explain his questions twice.
Okay, so it's fast, it's first time right, all these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So you explained a little bit about Agile in the new customer service. And what about the process, the transformation that you went through to introduce and develop your new customer service? Can you explain a little bit about that and how you used maybe Agile principles in there as well?
Mm-hmm. Well, what we did is we made a plan about how we thought that it should work, but it was only a theoretical plan. So we used to work with Agile within development and we know how teams work there. But for customer service, that's a whole different thing. We were used to work with workforce managers who try to explain to our agents how they should work throughout the day. All the plans that they have were, all the tasks that they had were planned. So they were told exactly what to do at what moment of the day. What we thought from development is we should have teams that are self-sufficient in that way that they have one captain, and that captain oversees the process but isn't in lead of the process. In the same way that a Scrum Master within Agile, for example, does. So what we did in the beginning was rolling out 2 circles and see how that worked in the beginning in practice. Because the theory described that it would work, but we had to see how that did in practice. And the first 2 circles went really well, and we gave that some time, about a month for free, before we started rolling out more circles. One of the things that we learned during the process was that finance, for example, was still a department of its own. So a customer would get serviced all of the way within a circle, except when you had a financial question. And that's something that you see in other care units within other companies as well. They can help you along the way until you have something about your invoice, for example. You need to be rerouted to another agent. That's something that we didn't want to do here. So what we thought, let's add those agents from our finance department, which is in another floor, to our circles as well, and see if we can then capture all of the customer questions in one go by one circle. And that's something that worked out really well as well.
That's great to hear. Kind of iterative approach.
Yeah.
And in terms of customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, how did you manage or measure that during the process of the transformation?
We measure both. We use Teamwood as a tool for measuring the internal satisfaction. Every employee can, on a daily basis, give a rating of their day. from 1 to 5, so to say, from an unhappy smiley to a happy smiley. So we can see from each circle how happy they are at that day, at that time. And we measure the customer experience in all kinds of ways. We use the Trustpilot, Kio, etc. And the NPS score is, of course, a very important measurement of measuring how happy the customer has been with the service that he's gotten. And we've seen that from the moment that we started Circles, our happiness of customers rose pretty quickly, and our NPS rose pretty quickly as well. And you see that in a lot of KPIs that we measure from within customer service as well. For example, the ASA, the average speed of answering, has decreased from over a minute to about 5 seconds now. And in a lot of other KPIs as well, you can see that we've become much more efficient in handling the way that we answer our customers.
Okay. Just to be sure, NPS stands for?
Net Promoter Score.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this explanation by Koen about how to use Agile to improve, in this case, customer service and, very important, customer satisfaction. And I wish you good luck with your assignment.